Have you ever stared into someone's eyes and felt a chill instead of comfort? They said the right words. They smiled just right. Maybe even told you they were proud. But something inside you didn't buy it. A silent alarm rang in your spirit, like your soul whispered, "They don't mean it," and you couldn't explain why? There was no argument, no obvious betrayal, nothing dramatic. But their energy, it felt wrong. Their smile didn't touch their eyes. Their laughter, it echoed like an actor reading a script. And when you succeed, they pause before they clap, just long enough for you to feel it. If you've ever felt that silent shift in someone's energy, like their smile didn't match their soul, type "I felt it" in the comments. Your intuition is not broken. You're just finally learning how to read the room with your spirit, not just your eyes. That feeling isn't paranoia. It's perception. You're not imagining things. What you're sensing is what Carl Jung called the shadow, the hidden, repressed side of a person's psyche. It lurks behind compliments, cloaks itself in kindness, and claps with resentment. This darkness doesn't attack it. It attaches. It doesn't strike. It slowly seeps in. Envy, bitterness, secret rivalry, dressed as friendship. And if you keep brushing off that gut feeling, you won't just get hurt emotionally. You'll get drained mentally, spiritually, even physically. Because when hate hides behind a hug, it's more dangerous than open hostility. In this video, I'll expose 8 subtle but sinister signs that someone close to you doesn't just dislike you. They deeply resent you. And most people don't see it coming until they're sabotaged, shattered, or slowly suffocated by it. But if you stay till the end, sign number 8 will rewire the way you read people forever. Let's begin. Sign 1. The joke that hurts. Sarcasm, contempt, and emotional blades. Why are you so sensitive? Relax. I'm just messing with you. Sound familiar? It starts with laughter. It sounds harmless, but it cuts deeper than it should. These aren't jokes, they're daggers in disguise. This is sarcasm, used not for humor, but for harm. The person who knows your vulnerabilities, your past mistakes, your weight, your childhood struggles, keeps jabbing at them in front of others. Everyone laughs, but you flinch. You smile through it, but it stings. And when you speak up, you're told you're overreacting, that it was just a joke. But Carl Jung knew the truth. He said what irritates us in others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But some people never look inward. They project their darkness outward, and you become their emotional target. Their laughter, it's a mask. Their sarcasm, a tool. This isn't comedy, it's contempt. If every joke leaves a bruise you can't see, if their humor always feels like it's at your expense, if you find yourself laughing in public and crying in private, this isn't love. It's manipulation in disguise. Psychological warfare disguised as play. And the most dangerous thing about it, nobody else notices until you name it. Sign 2. Subtle sabotage. The hidden hand that holds you back. It never looks obvious. It never sounds cruel. It often comes wearing the voice of concern, or worse, the silence of forgetfulness. But pay close attention. This is how they hold you down, while pretending to lift you up. Ever had someone close to you forget to tell you something important? That one detail that could have made a difference in your big moment? Or maybe they gave you advice that led to disaster and then shrugged it off like an honest mistake. Once is human, twice is a slip. But when it keeps happening, it's not forgetfulness. It's sabotage. They don't stab you with anger. They hug you with hesitation. They miss your wins. They're never there when it counts. Their support feels delayed. Their guidance, always just a little off. And the worst part? They frame it as help. Carl Jung warned of this. He said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. So instead of facing their inadequacy, they quietly chip away at your progress. Because your success makes them feel smaller. Your light casts shadows on their regrets. And so, they dim your flame, but gently, through missed texts, bad timing, wrong turns disguised as advice. They'll say, "I just didn't want you to get hurt." But what they really mean is, "I don't want to watch you rise." They don't want you to fail, but they also can't bear to see you fly too far above them. So they keep you grounded, nicely, quietly, manipulatively. And by the time you realize you've been held back, you'll think it was your fault. You'll doubt your judgment. You'll wonder if you just weren't good enough. That's how powerful quiet sabotage is. If someone in your life keeps delaying your progress, overlooking your achievements, or nudging you toward failure under the mask of caring advice, they're not your guide. They're your cage. Sign 3. Silent competition. When every win feels like a threat, you share good news, a promotion, a personal breakthrough, maybe just a moment of joy. You expect a smile, a celebration, a simple "I'm happy for you." But instead, they shift the spotlight. "Oh yeah? Guess what I just did?" And just like that, your moment is gone. Your joy becomes their mirror, and they can't stand what it reflects. This is what silent competition looks like. It's not loud. It doesn't shout. It creeps in with comparison. It hides behind subtle one-ups. It disguises envy as coincidence. You rise, and they rush to rise higher, not with you, but above you. You share your light, and they dim the room. Carl Jung spoke of this shadow within, the unacknowledged parts of us that react with jealousy and fear when we see someone living in alignment. Instead of reflecting inward, they project outward. Your growth reminds them of everything they've abandoned in themselves. So they start measuring themselves against you, not to support, but to survive their own insecurity. You never asked to compete, but they did. Quietly, desperately, consistently. If your celebrations are always met with a counterstory, if your joy is interrupted by their need to level up, if your wins lead to their emotional withdrawal, you're not in a friendship. You're in a race you didn't register for. And every time you succeed, it threatens their sense of self. This isn't just jealousy. It's ego survival. It's a relationship where love is conditional and closeness is contingent on your staying small. And if you're constantly shrinking your joy to keep the peace, ask yourself, who's really winning here? Sign 4. Superficial kindness. The smile that's all surface, no soul. They say all the right things. "I'm proud of you." "Wow, that's amazing." "I'm so happy for you." But the words don't land. They feel empty. Not because of what's said, but how it's said. Their voice is flat. Their eyes glance away. Their presence disappears the moment it really matters. Something in you knows. This isn't love. This is performance. You're not talking to a friend. You're talking to a role they're playing. Carl Jung described this as ego dissociation. When people detach so deeply from their authentic self, they become emotionally hollow. They wear a mask of politeness. They say what sounds good, but they're not with you. Not truly. Real care shows up. It feels warm. It's present. It dances with you in celebration and sits with you in sorrow. But these people, they vanish when you're in pain. And when you're joyful, they show up half-heartedly, smiling, but without light in their eyes. Their kindness feels automated. Their words sound copied and pasted. It's not that they hate you. It's that they don't have the capacity or the desire to connect on a deeper level. You're giving real energy. They're offering a script. If you always feel emotionally alone, even in their company, if their words never match their energy, if their support feels like background noise, you're not surrounded by love. You're surrounded by emotional ghosts. And no matter how polite, how positive, or how pretty their words are, You'll always feel the emptiness behind their smile. Sign 5. Control disguised as care. The manipulation wrapped in concern. It starts with softness. I'm just trying to protect you. You'll thank me later. I don't want to see you get hurt. It sounds loving. It sounds wise. But somewhere inside, something tightens. You begin to question your choices. You hesitate before making a move. And slowly, you stop trusting yourself. Because what they call care is actually control. They don't yell. They don't demand. They gently reshape your thoughts, like hands molding clay. You share a dream. They say it's unrealistic. You chase a goal. They suggest you're not thinking clearly. You get excited. They pull you back with concern. And here's the twist. It's not always bad advice. Sometimes it sounds logical, reasonable, even protective. But instead of empowering you, it shrinks you. And soon, without realizing it, you're seeking their permission for your life. Carl Jung once said that people who cannot tame their own inner chaos will often try to control others to feel safe. That's what this is. Their control gives them order. Your growth, it threatens that illusion. They're not supporting you. They're subduing you. Softly, slowly. And the longer you stay, the more you'll confuse obedience with love. You'll start believing that safety means sameness and freedom means risk. But ask yourself, if someone's love always makes you feel small, unsure, or powerless, is that love? Or is that ownership? True care gives you wings. False concern gives you walls. Real support says, go for it. I'll be here if you fall. Fake love says, don't fly. It's dangerous. And the scariest part, they'll call it protection, while what they're really doing is possession. Sign 6. Gossip and criticism. The mask they drop when you're not around. You walk into the room. Something shifts. The air thickens. Eyes glance, then quickly look away. Smiles fade too fast. The vibe turns cold, but no one says a word. And yet, deep down, you know, something was said, something was twisted, and your name was on their tongue. This is how betrayal moves. It whispers, never roars. When someone doesn't have the courage to confront you, they rewrite your story in secret, not to your face, but behind your back. They don't attack your actions. They question your character. They don't disagree, they distort. And worst of all, they wear the same smile the next time you see them. Carl Jung once said, "The brighter your light, the darker your shadow appears to those around you." Your growth, your self-assurance, your peace, it disturbs those still lost in their own chaos. They can't match your evolution, so they try to devalue it. Quietly, cowardly. Gossip is not just words. It's sabotage disguised as conversation. And it rarely comes from strangers. It comes from those closest to you. Those who once clapped for you now chip away at your reputation when you're not looking. But here's what they don't realize. Gossip exposes them. Not you. Their need to speak on your life reveals the war they refuse to fight within themselves. They don't hate you. They hate how you mirror back what they're not ready to face. So the next time the room goes quiet and your intuition gets loud, listen. Because their whispers, they're not your shame. They're the sound of broken people choking on your name. And your silence? That's not weakness. That's grace, at full volume. Sign 7. No joy in your success. The silent withdrawal that screams the truth. They were there when you were broken, when you cried, when you struggled. They held your hand through the storm. But now that you found sunlight, they've vanished. No celebration. No "I'm proud of you," no genuine smile when you rise. You send them the good news. You get a dry cool. You speak about your dreams. They change the subject. The warmth they once gave you is now replaced by emotional coldness. Why? Because your success rewrites the script they had for you. When you were down, you were safe. You didn't threaten their self-image. You were someone they could feel good about helping. But now, Now you shine. You grow. You become a mirror, reflecting everything they haven't become. And that reflection is painful. Carl Jung said, "People will do anything to avoid facing their own souls. That includes resenting yours for healing. Your joy triggers their judgment. Your light casts shadows over their stagnation. So instead of clapping, they retreat, not because you've changed, but because your change reminds them they haven't. They may pretend to support you, they may even say the right words, but energy doesn't lie. Their eyes don't light up. Their tone stays flat. And deep in your soul, you feel it. They don't want to see you win. And the saddest part? Some of these people once walked with you through your pain. But now, they can't walk with you through your progress. Sign 8. Body language. The betrayal. Their words can't hide. Words can lie. Smiles can be rehearsed. But the body? It always tells the truth. When someone secretly resents you, their energy leaks. Their smile? Too tight. Their eyes? Cold or avoiding yours. They might say, "I'm so happy for you," but their body is screaming, "I wish it wasn't you." They lean away when you speak. They blink too fast. Their jaw clenches. Their shoulders tense. They might hug you, but there's no warmth. Their applause? A beat too late. It's subtle, but your spirit notices. Always. Carl Jung said, "The unconscious always speaks through the body, even when the mouth is polished with praise." The body leaks the real emotion. Envy, competition, bitterness. And you were born with the ability to feel that. It's called intuition, a sacred sense older than language itself. That tightness in your stomach, that chill in the room, that feeling like you're unsafe around someone smiling at you, that's not paranoia. That's ancient wisdom. So many ignore it. They stay in relationships that drain them because they were taught to value politeness over perception. But today, you see clearly. You don't have to confront them. You don't have to fight. You just have to protect your peace. Because peace is priceless, and you've been giving it to people who never earned it. Set boundaries. Stop explaining. And above all, stop shrinking your light to make others comfortable in their shadow. Not everyone sitting next to you is cheering for you. Some are studying your every move, waiting for you to fall. And they don't stab you with knives. They stab with fake smiles, empty praise, and silent resentment. So choose. Keep chasing approval from those who secretly want you small. Or choose yourself. Choose your growth, your peace, your freedom. Self-love begins where fake love ends. If this message opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone who's been feeling that weird energy but didn't know how to explain it. Drop a comment below and tell me which sign exposed the truth for you the most. Which one hit your chest like a truth bomb? And if you're ready for more raw, real, and psychological insights into human behavior and self-mastery, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. This isn't the end. It's the beginning. Your clarity, your power, your peace. It starts now. Comment the word "real" if you felt this.